Was where can we get that yesterday's recording session?
Just
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, please join there. I'll upload the notes by the end of the session or after the session. Okay, let me open something. Give me a few seconds. I'm opening few tabs. Right. Okay. I'm sharing my screen. Yeah. So today is the first class. The demos are completed actually. So we have gone through few things about cyber security. Okay, and also few things about the VAPT, right? Even when you are going to switch any kind of cyber security role, whether it is a SOC, VAPT, or GRC, or whatever it is, even cloud security, whatever it is, you need a basic to mid level, at least a good level of networking fundamentals. Okay, and you have to understand how the data is transmitting in between the devices in the sense like whether it is servers, laptops, mobiles, whatever it is. Whatever you are browsing through your mobiles, laptops, or wherever you are working in any organization, everything is transmitting through the internet only, right? Anyone know about internet? Like how the internet work? Okay, anyone have any idea like what is internet, how the internet works, and who are taking care of this internet, and how the internet is transmitting the data? At least how the internet is transmitting the data, like through the wires or without wires. Any idea?
Yeah, it's wireless transformation. We can say it's bits and packets. The data is getting transferred.
Okay, yeah, you're saying wireless, right?
Yes.
The first thing is internet is working through the wires, not wireless. Okay, maybe you're saying this because of like you're having or you're using a Wi-Fi, right? Because your Wi-Fi is giving the internet through the Wi-Fi, you're connecting and you're browsing or you're doing anything in the internet. Wo- My bad, sorry. Actually, internet is connected through the wires. Okay, all the continents. Let me show you. This is our globe. Okay. Me maximize. Yeah. Can you see my screen clearly? This is our entire globe, okay, which is connected through. You can see these colored lines. All these lines are submarine cables. Okay. All these lines are connected through the submarine cables. What is submarine cables? Let me show you. Okay. These are called submarine cables. You can able to see even though you can search it in your own browser also, you can able to see. These are called submarine cables. Okay, beneath the sea, like it is under the sea. Okay, with these cables only we are connecting through, or we are doing everything throughout the internet. Okay, with the help of these cables only we can able to get all these things. These cables are transmitting the data. It is attached and it is laid under the sea actually. Okay, and also I'll show you. I can. Okay, yeah. So ICANN is the actual organization who are taking care about the internet. Okay, this is not a single organization, or this is not a single person who are going to taking care or who are going to authorize everything in the internet. This is a non-profitable organization. Okay, this ICANN is going to taken care about the domain names. We are hearing about this .com, .in, .net, some kind of things, right? All these domains and IP addresses. Okay, the thing is, we are connecting through the submarine cables. That's why we are using the internet, and also the devices able to connecting like one with the other with the help of IP addresses. Okay, with the help of IP addresses only we are connecting. Let's assume you can call me. If you want to call me, you can say, "Hey Sai," right? Then I'll reply. Actually, we have the names. That's why we are talking each other, or we are communicating each other. And when it comes to the digital world, the digital equipments also having the names, which is I'm giving the generic thing to understand each and every can be able to get it. Okay, each and every device which is having the ability to connect throughout the internet having a IP address. Okay, there are different kind of concepts over there in the IP addresses. We are going to deep dig about that in the next class, but I'm giving a generic info before we are going to some other stuff. Okay, so the internet is connected through wires. Okay, you can consider those are called as a submarine cables, and it is taken care by ICANN. Okay, ICAAN. Okay, throughout the continents, these guys like this like a few people are there. Okay, those people are working for ICANN, that is a non-profitable organization. And when it comes to like a GoDaddy, like any domain purchaser or any kind of like even though we are using like Airtel Wi-Fi, like Geo Wi-Fi. Okay, even every like a kind of a company who are providing the internet, they are attached with this ICANN and they are working under the rules created by the ICANN only. Okay, let's suppose if you want to purchase any kind of domain, or if any company is going to create a laptop or a Wi-Fi or anything, those IP addresses or MAC addresses or whatever it needs, it is uh, allocated by the ICANN given numbers only. They'll give some amount of numbers. Okay, companies are going to give amount to the ICANN. With that money only, it is going to recirculate everything and taken care of everything. But it's usually called it as a like a non-profitable organization only. Okay, let's go to the actual topic. So, as a VAPT engineer, we have to know the first thing is CIA triad. Okay, CIA triad means confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, this is the foundation of information security. when you are going to work under any company, the company must and shouldly maintain this CA triad. Or else, your job is you have to find out is the company is properly using or implementing the CA triad. That means the confidentiality, integrity, availability all are in the same and actual phase, are in a good phase or not, or is there any issues occurring over there? Okay, let's deep dig one by one. Okay, so introduction to the CA triad, like we are already seen, like foundation model information security comprising three core principles, that is a confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, let's go to the confidentiality. So confidentiality ensures sensitive information is accessible only to authorized individuals or systems. Okay, individuals or systems, preventing unauthorized access or disclosure. That means it should be, if anything, you can consider if you are working in an organization, there are some files over there. Those files have a authorization requisition over there. That means no one, like anyone, can able to access those things. Okay, the thing is they are going to create some passwords or something, or they are going to give you some authorization level. Okay, let's assume you can able to go to any bank. There is a vault over there. Vault means the cash vault or gold vault, whatever it is, inside the bank. The vault can able to access by few people, not everyone working in the bank, right? Maybe manager or assistant manager or a cashier. Some people have the keys, can able to access those vaults and all. The same way, the companies also or the organizations also must and shouldly follow few rules to maintain this confidentiality. That means if a developer or a DevOps engineer or a cyber security professional or a QA engineer, any kind of person or any kind of employee working in a specific company, that doesn't mean he can or she can able to access everything inside that company's property or company's files and all. Okay, they are going to give a proper access controls. Based on that only they can able to access the specific things. For suppose if developer need to check about the cloud services, they can give read service. Okay, there are read, write, execute permissions over there. Maybe they'll give read permission. That means the developer can able to watch it, so what is running inside, that's it. They are not able to modify or they are not able to execute that, because developer don't have a ability or knowledge to work on cloud services, because their job is they have to write the code, or else they are using a tool, maybe you can call it as a git. That git is used to read, write, or execute the code, or you can able to store the code. Like application, if any kind of application should work on a code, that code is written by a developer. So instead of writing it in a local files, or instead of sharing it in a files through the computers, they are going to use a single tool. The tool can be able to access by the required persons, maybe developers, sometimes DevOps engineers, and sometimes QA engineers also. Okay, they are not going to give the access to the cyber security persons. Maybe if it is required, they are going to give a temporary access, because developer can able to write and modify the code. Maybe DevOps engineer can able to read that code to process it to the QA. Okay, that means is this code is specifically working fine or not, or this code is functionality having any issues or something. Okay, they are going to verify that, and the QA team also just re-verify, okay, the code is here, and it is going to test in a like end user, like in, for suppose the developer write a code for a login page. So the tester is going to verify it, okay, the login page is appearing perfectly or not, like the username box is coming up, the password box is coming up, and the login button or forget password button is coming up or not. Those kind of things they can access, but the security person won't able to access, because we don't need to check those code and all. We are going to accessing the application's security. That means is there any kind of vulnerability or not, so we don't need that. So the confidentiality have four pillars, that is encryption, access controls, authentication, and multi-factor. Okay, let's go one by one. I'm sharing you this after the class. Yeah. So the confidentiality ensures the information is accessible only to the authorized entities. Okay. So when it comes to the encryption, the first pillar, okay, encryption transforms readable data. Like it is simply, instead of storing it in a plain text, they are going to encrypt it. That means it is unreadable or it is ununderstandable to a human. Okay, let's assume you can able to read this because it is in a human readable format. That is, maybe it is in English or any kind of language. Anyone or some people can able to read it. But when it comes to looks like, I'll show you. I'll add it here. If it looks like this, can able to read that note, right? If it is not in a good pattern, you can't read that. You can't understand that. Okay. So encryption are going to do this. Simply, they are going to modify the plain text into cipher text. Okay. So plain text encryption algorithm plus key. That means you have a bank account every month or every quarter or every half year or yearly. The bank is sending you the detailed report of your bank statements and all, or maybe the credit card statement or something. Okay, in first phase it should be in a encrypted format. They'll send you a file, and in the mail also they'll tell you, hey, you need to add your first name, first letter, and date of birth, the last three letters, kind of thing. Okay, that should be considered as a key. Okay, once you give your key properly, it going to be decrypted. Okay, and you can able to watch over there what is inside that. Without the proper key, you can't able to decrypt it. Okay, so the encryption is nothing but modifying the plain text into a cipher text that is not a human readable. Okay, once you need it, you are just going to decrypt it. Sometimes you are downloading something like a zip files or some kind of files from the internet. Like you are going to download, or if you want to install any third point like a third party tools or something, maybe sometimes they are going to download it in some kind of encrypted format. After you are going to decrypt that only, then it can be able to come to the like a normal state. Then only you can able to install it. For suppose you downloaded a folder or a file, it is having multiple folders or files inside that. First it looks like encrypted like .zip format. Once you decrypted it, it comes to the normal state. Okay, you can able to see all the files inside that, all the folders inside that. Based on the requirement, you are going to watch, read, or execute. That means install. Okay, so you can able to see this like a HTTPS. Have you gone through any web services like this? I'll show you an example here. Okay, so if I click here, you can see there is a HTTPS. If you can't able to see, I'll zoom it. Oh, it's not zooming. Can you able to see this one? HTTPS.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So what is mean HTTP? HTTP is a hypertext transfer protocol. It's a one kind of protocol which is used to run the websites. Okay, we are going to each and everything, but we are going to the CAA today. After that, we are going to each and everything. We are going to a chain link process. Okay, don't worry. I'm going to explain each and everything which is related to the devices, internet, and everything which is connected to our VAPT job. Okay, so what if the S is not there, or what if the S is here exactly? S is a security layer. Okay, previously it looks like HTTP. Let me show you. Test PHP. Okay, give me a second. It is going to reload. It's taking more time, but okay, it is also using that. Okay, okay. See, okay. So HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. That means this is a plain text only. Okay, if S is not there, okay, if SE is not there, that means it is a normal website. There is no security added. That means whatever it is going through this website or what is came into this website should be in a plain text only. Okay, it's not be encrypted. When the S is added, that means a security layer is added, the data is going to encrypt it. Okay, that means you are going to click something or you are going to resources policies or whatever it is, because I'm accessing this from my laptop in a web browser. Okay, it is reaching the ICANN server from my laptop. The ICANN server is showcasing me the data in a encrypted format actually, but it is decrypted once it is reached me. Okay, in the distance, let's suppose ICANN is in a USA, the server is in a USA, I am in India, I'm searching this specific website, but I can able to watch it as usual. It is not showcasing in encrypted format. But what exactly is happening when it is transmitting? Okay, for suppose if it is, once I searched the icon and click this specific website URL, it is going to reach the web server, the ICANN web server, and the web server is going to give me the response. I'm doing the request, the web server is giving the response. Okay, in between, like in the between me and the server, the data is encrypted. If anyone trying to access, like in the middle, once you are click on the URL, maybe if a third person is going to uh, try to get into your request and response, they can able to see some encrypted format data. They cannot able to see all this data. Okay, how it is happening? Because if this S stands for SSL, secure sockets layer, or TLS. Okay, you can see, you can call it as a SSL, like a secure sockets layer, or TLS. Previously it is SSL only. Nowadays it is transformed as TLS. This is an updated version, you can say. Okay, the data is transmitting in between one device to other device. Okay, it is encrypted. Like this is a example for web traffic only. Okay, so let's see the last one, disk encryption. I think you guys heard about a BitLocker, right? Most of the Windows laptops have a BitLocker. Like at the time of your purchasing, at the time of your configuring your laptop, it is going to ask you create your Microsoft account and save the BitLocker password, or you have to create a proper account to see this BitLocker. Let's assume due to some issues your laptop got crashed, or the OS got crashed, or maybe the system completely locked because of the security fundamentals and rules. Maybe something happened, some attacker trying to steal or something. Maybe because of the security things which is already configured in your laptop, it should be locked. So if you don't have the BitLocker, you are unable to access your laptop again. Even though you are going to change your OS also, it won't be used, because it is a disk encryption. That means from the hardware level only it is encrypted. The first one is a website encryption, like throughout the web where traffic, the web traffic is going to encrypted. But it is, in the end, it is the hardware level it is going to encrypted. That means you have to change your hard drive. Okay, that is the thing. And when it goes to the S3 buckets, this is a one kind of storage service in AWS, like Amazon cloud. Okay, S3 is a simple storage service. Usually it stands for SSS. Instead of triple S, they are calling S3. That is a simple storage service in a Amazon cloud platform. Okay, S3 is giving you buckets. Let's assume you want to create a folder in your laptop. Instead of, you are going to create a bucket in S3. Both are same. Whatever you want to create or whatever you want to add or store inside that S3, it should be called as a bucket. If you want to store this course data, you are going to create a VAPT bucket. In that bucket, it should be act like a folder only. You are going to store it there. So this encrypted S3 bucket is called as SSEKMS. This is a one kind of key encryption used for S3 buckets. And also for the databases, that is called AES 256. Okay, AES 256 is a kind of a key functionality used to encrypt the databases. That means if you are going to access any web traffic, maybe you are going to cross this SSL and TLS. After that, you are going to the specific applications database, like it is going to verify the given user credentials are stored in that specific database or not. After that, it confirms. If you give the right credentials, it confirms, okay, fine, the user is there, then they'll give you a proper response. If you unintentionally or intentionally give any wrong credential, it won't give you a proper response, or simply say you are given a wrong credential, the username is wrong or password wrong, like that. So encryption is nothing but it is going to modify a plain text into a cipher text. Okay, you have to go through this document, like each and every topic I'm going to give you as a notes. I'm going to showcase the VAPT findings, and in the end also, for each document I'm going to show you, if anyone asks you about these topics in interview, how you are need to answer. Okay, let's go through these also. I'll send you. And the second one is authentication. Authentication is nothing but simply it is verifying the credentials of you. Okay, authentication process of verifying the identity of a user, system, or a service. Why it is saying system or service? Let's assume you are going to accessing some application. You have a Netflix account. You want to watch a web series. You are going to give your credential, username and password. It able to log you in. So you are going to watch it. So the database is going to verify the user is there or not. Okay, or else sometimes internally one service need to access another service. For suppose a company having some servers, some databases and all, if the database want to verify, or if the database is reconnected to any kind of storage service or any kind of server, it needs to access or it needs to communicate each other. For that also, they'll create some authentication keys or something. So you can easily consider, that's why I written here, who are you? It is simply verifying who the user is. Is the user is perfect user or not? Is the user is a correct user or not? The user having the actual user credentials or not? Okay, that is the authentication. You can see password pin sometimes. Okay, maybe sometimes it is a token or phone, sometimes it is a fingerprint or face. Let's assume you are using a password or a PIN number to your mobile. You have to give it. It is opened. And sometimes you have to give a token or a phone. Okay, token or a phone. It is mostly used in organizations. Let's assume you are working in a company. You have to use or you have to access any company's specific applications, or maybe if you want to access Amazon web services, okay, to work on those services, the company asked you to install some kind of token generation or authentication applications in your mobile. Okay, once the company credentials you are mentioned in that application, it is redirected to the company's portals and all. So whenever you are going to log into that company services, you just need to give your company given password and username. Once you give it, automatically the token sorry, the application is generating the token. You have to give the token also. You can consider it's like an OTP kind of thing. Okay, so this is the kind of thing, and this is also fingerprint and face also. You already know, maybe some mobiles and laptops also nowadays we are using this. Okay, so in an example, like username, password is login, and SSH key authentication. This is what I'm saying. SSH key is majorly used. It is a SSH, secured shell key. Mostly it is used for Linux based operating systems. This is for examples only for keys. Okay, and these also like API tokens and OAuth tokens also related to the organization level only. Okay, and the other one is access control. Okay, access control determines what an authenticated user is allowed to access or perform. That means you are a In turn, they'll give you an access. That means you can able to read the specific things which is inside the application or the company's portal. Or you are a mid-level employee, that means you have to read and modify something, okay, based on the credentials, based on the access level. You are going to read and modify, but you can't execute. Before you are going to execute, you have to go to take the permission from the your senior level or something. Okay, maybe if you are a manager or a senior executive or a senior employee in a specific company, you have given all the credentials or all the permissions or all the accesses. That means you can able to read, write, execute, or delete anything inside that application. That is called access control. Okay. Yeah, you can see this is a DAC. Owner decides accesses, and MAC, system enforcer. It is used for a military. And mostly we heard RBAC, role based access control, which I have already told you. Like based on your roles and responsibilities, they'll give you some access level. You are going to use that. And when it comes to the cloud and nowadays networking, we majorly use IAM, Identity Access Management. This identity access management is majorly used in Amazon cloud and some other clouds also with the different names. Okay. So this is having specific specific policies and roles. Let's assume there is a policy for if you want to access a storage, like in a like I told you the S3 buckets are in a AWS. If you want to access the S3 buckets in Amazon, they are going to, like the senior people or who are going to take care of this networking things, accessing things, they are going to give you to the VAPT team for a specific time period access based on the service. Okay, they are going to create a VAPT team uh, group. They are going to add you all in there. They are going to give some access to that specific group for a specific time period. Only 7 days you are going to access the storage bucket at some level. Okay. Or also if what's the same thing, if the storage like S3 want to access with the any kind of server, again they are going to use a policy. So policies are majorly used for internal service to service or server to server kind of connectivity, and the roles are majorly used for users who are going to access and what access level they have. Okay. And the last one is a multi-factor authentication, MFA. Most of the people know this, right? Password, OTP, biometric token. Okay, it stands for two or more independent authentication factors. That means you are going to give username, password is one kind of authentication. After that, it is redirecting. Hey, we have sent an OTP to your registered email or a registered mobile number. You have to enter it. That is called OTP kind of. Or sometimes you have to give your biometric or the same thing token. I've told you before. You are working in an organization, they'll give you authenticator app. So after giving the credentials, you have to enter the token also. So this is called a multi-factor authentication. Okay. So all these four, based on these four only, the confidentiality work. Okay. Encryption, authentication, access controls, and multi-factor authentication. Based on these four only, the confidentiality is working fine. Let's assume if it is not encrypted, the confidentiality is going to breach. If anything happening with authentication, for suppose the application is giving the access to any kind of person, instead of it is not verifying properly. Okay, it is going to giving the access to any kind of email IDs which is not also registered to that application, then it is an authentication level issue. Okay, and that is also a big question for the confidentiality and also the access controls and the multi-factor authentication also. Okay, let's go to the integrity. Okay, integrity is guarantees a data remains accurate, consistent, and trustworthy throughout its life cycle, protecting from unauthorized modifications or corruption. This means, let's assume you're working in an organization. Okay, there is some code or there is some files or there is some data over there in the companies or organizations portal or an application. So it should be their 100% correct data. That means no one can going to alter the data, no one can able to modify the data, the actual data, what I'm saying. Okay, the integrity is based on that only. That is called accurate, consistent and trustworthy. Okay, these integrity also have four pillars, that is hashing, checksums, digital signatures and version control. Let's go to deep dive into that also. Closing this. Yeah. uh, okay, let me open like this. Okay, so what is hashing? Hashing converts data into a fixed length digest using a cryptographic hash function. That means you are going to write something in a computer. That computer is going to create a hash value for that. Okay, it is going to create a specific value that is called as a hash. Let's assume you are going to write your username or email id or any kind of code inside the application or anywhere. Okay, in a file structure or an s3 bucket or whatever it is, you are going to write something, it is having a hashing value. Okay, for suppose you written your email id, that email id having a 10 digit or 12 digit hashing value. If you are going to change or modify it, the hashing value is going to store at some point. Okay, if anybody wants to just give a gap or just to modify anything, instead of giving capital R, they are going to make it as a smaller. What will happen? Simply the hash value will be changed. Okay, if anything, like if you give a gap like a space, or if you want to modify it to capital to small also, the entire hash value will be changed. Okay, you can see if data changes even by one bit. Okay, bit means like you are already know these binaries, right? 0110, the computer is going to understand everything in those level only. Okay, if it is happening at that one bit level also, the hashing will be modified, and the actual hash and the modified hash will be completely changed. Okay, so hashing is the main thing. Because of using hashing, we are going to secure, we are going to follow the integrity. You can see original hash plus new hash, integrity violation. Okay, and also file integrity monitoring, FIM is there in some organizations, and you can see malware detection or else password verification. You are giving the password while you are creating the account, you are giving capital letter, okay, rom at the rate 1994 something. But instead of you are going to modify, you want to modify it not to small r, like instead of capital R, you want to do the same like a rom at the rate 1994 only. The hash value will be changed and the password is not going to verify. You'll get end up in an error. Okay, and malware detection. What is malware detection? Simply, malware is nothing but a malicious software that is going to inject it to any kind of digital things like mobiles, phones, laptops, computers, or servers. Okay, there are some EDRs are there, like endpoint detection. EDR means you can see your laptops also have some EDRs, that is like antivirus tools like Avast or some kind of tools are there, right? Those are called as EDRs. When it comes to the enterprise level, that means the company organization level, EDRs are working more efficiently. Okay, like CrowdStrike is there and some other EDRs over there. Those job is they are continuously rendering. For suppose you are working in a company or an organization application, you want to install or you want to download, okay, into the company's laptop or into the company's application, the EDR is spinning behind. You can't see that, but it is working in the shadow mode. It is continuously spinning while downloading also. It is verifying the hash level of that specific data. Let's assume a hacker is trying to send you a malware. Okay, most of the EDRs having all the hash, like all the vulnerability hashes. That means there are some kind of malwares over there. Those malwares can execute and give the hacker to the access to your computer. Okay, let's assume there are 100 different malwares over there which is already implemented and used to attack some applications which are already impacted or detected by the EDR. So all the EDRs are continuously rendering. They are going to getting the data while it is downloading or installing or configuring. The EDR is going to detect any suspicious thing. It will be show you an alert. How it is happening? Because of the hash only. Okay, if anyone altered the actual file or actual data, or even though if it is an image also, you can able to inject some kind of a malicious scripts or something. So it is simply verified the hash levels. It is okay, the hash is looks like a different when comparing to the original thing or something. The malware is going to detected by the EDR. Okay, so we can stop it, even though some malwares cannot be able to detect by EDRs. You know something? Some malwares are there. Those are going to looks like it looks like a same hash. Maybe there are some deep level technical stuff out there inside those malware scripts. It should be installed in your laptop. Once the EDR verifying it, it is in a sleep state. The malware is not going to detected by the EDR. After the detection or after the spinning or security scanning happened, it is going to wake up and do their work. Okay, so that is one thing. And let's go to the digital signature. So a digital signature use hashing plus asymmetric cryptography to verify. Okay, hashing, you can see data hash encrypt hash with a private key. Okay, and then you are adding a signature here, like a signature decrypt with a public key and compare the hash. It is simply we are going to adding some kind of a signature, like a digital kind of signature, a digital kind of thumb impression, digital kind of password, or kind of things. We are going to adding it to that. Okay, data hasn't been altered. It came from a trusted source. Again, you can see it is a SSL TLS certificate. Okay, like email signing. These are two deep dive concepts we are going to explore when it comes the topic comes. Okay, so the SSL and TLS works under this digital signatures only. It is going to verify it. Okay, based on that only it is going to encrypt and decrypt. There are two kind of things. You have to do manually encrypt and decrypt, and automatically encrypt and decrypt also happening in the web server level. It is automatically happening. I told you like the SSL certificate is added to your web traffic. Okay, the SSL is provided by some vendors. The vendor is going to give you the certificate. You are going to install it with your web application services. Where it need to be configured, you are going to configure. Okay, you don't need to know all these things actually, where it need to be configured or something, but it is configured in the infrastructure level. It is attaching to that domain name or something. Once anyone trying to access that URL or a domain name, it is passing through the SSL search. That means it is going to encrypt it. Okay, yeah. And the third one is a version control. Okay, version control systems track every change to data or code over time. You can simply take it as an example of Git. I told you, if everyone wants to, or some people wants, or some employees wants to see or modify the code of an application, it should be stored in a specific kind of tool or application. We can say Git is the major application nowadays. Every company or every organization using, so Git is having the source code, like a version control system. Okay, the Git is going to store the source code or the application code of any kind of organization. So, for suppose if you are working as a developer and I am working as a DevOps engineer, or someone is working as a cybersecurity person or something. Usually, DevOps engineers and developers are continuously collaborating and working because The developer's work is going to just write the code. Okay, based on their exponential knowledge, they are going to write the code. The DevOps engineer is going to check that is this code is legitimately working, if it is going to moving through all the tests. They are going to run some tests like vulnerability checks also there, and also syntax errors also there, and also it is going to aligned with the previous code or not. I told you in yesterday's class also, usually the code should be modified into two phases. One is a bug fix or a feature. Whatever it is, if the developer is written the code in a Git, it is happening through the commit. There are two, three kind of things are there in the Git. Once you written the code, you have to do the commit. That means there is 1,000 lines of code. At the line of 500, you are going to modify something because that is a bug fix, because of the code is not properly aligned. There are some issues happening in the application that is facing. There are some issues faced by the users. After the complaints raised, you are going to modifying, and you are going to write a robust code for that specific functionality. So the code should be altered. Maybe the code should be increased or decreased. Let's assume it is a 1,200 lines or 1,100 lines to from 1,000 to. Okay, so it is going to verified, and also once you are returned and send it to the Git repository. Actually, Git is having a centralized repository. Okay, you can control. You can see you are. Let me. It is in a specific place. Okay, let's assume it is in a. You can give me an example. Let's assume in a specific place there is a room in the middle, so everyone is sitting outside of the room. If everyone wants to send their data, or if everyone wants to save their data, they have to written or type their data in the paper and have to uh, push it or have to save it in that specific room only. Everyone go there and save there. While you are saving, you have to write something. This is me, I'm writing something, this is for this specific use or specific purpose. That is called commit. You have to commit the changes, and you have to push it to the centralized server. That server is having access to all the required people. So once you commit is sent to that centralized server, the people are get to know, okay, this is done by a specific person, and the commit have the message, okay, this is for a bug fix for a specific functionality. Okay, so easily identify who did this, what did this, and what kind of code is modified, and what kind of code is previously we have. So those kind of things can able to control by the version control. Let's assume instead of you, unauthorized guy like me or anyone is going to modify any code, because of that the application go down. Immediately the teams came up and verified where it is happened, why it is happened. Based on the error, they are going to go back step by step. Like first they verify is everything running properly or not, like the servers are running, databases are running, like is there any CPU, like high CPU issue or some kind of like in the end it came to the code level. So once the code level came back, they are going to read and verify it. Okay, this code is altered by some unauthorized person. They are simply going to verify who committed the changes. Simply, they are going to get to know some person is done this commit. Okay, without committing, it is not going to the centralized repository. Until unless it is not in the centralized repository, it won't be executed in the production level, the actual application level. It is simply you're writing your code in your computer, sending it to the centralized server, which is having the application code. That's it. So the version control is happening over there inside the integrity. That is also major concern. And let's go down. There is a checksums over there. Okay, a checksums is calculated value to detect accidental data corruption. Okay, I can simply give you an example here. Let's assume we are sending an email to someone, or you are sending your picture or your resume to your friend or a well wisher for referring in their company. You're sending it through WhatsApp. Okay, you're just put it in the WhatsApp and just click send, it is going to them. In the meantime, what is happening in the background, whatever you are sending, whether it is a WhatsApp, YouTube, or any social media account, email, whatever it is, everything, any kind of data is going to in a the data is going to breaken into some chunks. Let's assume there is a big thing over there. It is going to break into pieces. Okay, it is transmitting one by one piece by one piece to the destination, like to the receiver. Once it is reached there, all the pieces reached there, to there. Once it is received by the receiver, it is going to, but don't know that it is happening behind the network only. So each every chunk is called as a checksum, or some chunks collected, some chunks there are 100 pieces over there. For 10 pieces is considered as a one single chunk. Okay, it is kind of a group, that is called a checksum. Okay, the checksum have a specific value or an ID. It is verified internal network only. Once all the checksums is gathered, it is going to recreate the actual file or folder or an image or anything. So that is called checksum. Okay, so yeah, you can see. So why these checksums are important? Because while you are sending the data, until unless the last checksum is came over, or last checksum is collected by the receiver, then only you can able to see the actual data, or else you will end up with a downloading error, or the file not downloaded properly. Those kind of things you will get it. But why we need to send it in a piece by piece? Because if the file or folder or whatever it is in a MBs or GBs, even though it is in a KBs, if you want to send it directly, it should take more time. Instead of that, we are going to sending it in a piece by piece. It should be very easy. Okay, that's why we are using these checksums in our network topologies. We are going to more data to know about these checksums once we are going to the OSI layer. Okay, so these four pillars are majorly impacting the integrity. One is hashing, other one is checksum, and digital signature, and also the version control. Okay, so after the integrity, we have seen the confidentiality. Okay, like encryption, access controls, authentication, and multi-factor. And we have seen this hashing, digital signatures, checksums, version controls. After the last and major one is availability. Okay, the availability also having the four pillars, that is backups, redundant systems, monitoring, and disaster recovery. We can call it as a DR also, disaster recovery. Let's go. Let's go to the deep dive of this. Let me. Yeah. So let's go one by one. Availability ensures that systems, services, and data are accessible to authorized users we need it, even during failures, attacks, or disasters. Okay, that means if an application is there, if the Flipkart is there, the Flipkart employees or the Flipkart founders or whoever are working for the Flipkart, main goal is it should be accessible to each and every customer or a user who want to purchase or who want to get to know what kind of products inside the Flipkart. So that means the server which is hosting the application of the Flipkart should be running 100% efficiency every time, and the databases also should work properly, and the internet connectivity also running properly, and the networking things, everything whatever it is needed, it should be available to the each and every user or a customer or a person who are using that specific application or a server or a service. That is called availability. It is having the core pillars. The one is a backups. So backups are copies of data. That means we are simply copying. Oh, just a second. Let me. Okay. So backups is nothing but just a copying. Usually we do, like if you want to store our certificates or our secret things or something, we are going to make it as a copy. Like we are going to save it in the drive also, even if it is in your computer also or a mobile also, but for better security, we are simply move it to the drives like Google Drives or something. Because whenever we need it, even if we don't have our phone or something also, we simply go to any net cafe, or also we can able to take a printout, or we can able to download it to your devices or something, right? So backups are a copies of data stored separately, so data can be restored after loss, corruption, or ransomware attacks. Loss means if anything happened to your servers, like your organization servers, what will do? You need a copy of the data. If you have only a single copy of data, you lost everything. What will happen? So instead of end up with those kind of errors or issues, the companies or maybe the individual persons also mostly they copy their data. And corruption also, you already know, if anyone corrupted, they are going to give the stole the data and send it to someone. If they are going to try to attack, you can see like ransomware attacks or some kind of things. These attacks are mostly happening. They are going to lock their systems like a BitLocker. I told you before, like simply they are going to lock the entire servers or the individual laptops or computers from the operating system level or at storage disk level. The simple thing is whatever you are storing, whether it is a server or a laptop or a computer, it is stored in the storage only, right? Whatever the data, everything is stored in the storage. What if the person, a hacker, is going to lock that storage? You cannot able to access that storage. If it is an individual thing, we are simply going to file a case and we are trying to do that our best. But when it comes to the company is giving the services to the individual clients or services to the people or the customers outside the world. What will happen? So for that only they are going to take a backup. If anything happened to that specific thing, they are going to use that backup to run the application properly. Okay, it is like a roles and availability. Data can be recovered, services can be resumed after incidents, and business continuity maintained. That is the thing we have to know. Okay, there are different kind of backups over there, like a full, incremental, differential. That means like a full backup or like a changes since last backup. Let's assume you have already took the backup from last January 1st. From there to today, there is a 29 days or something. From there to here only, they are going to take another backup because the previous backup you already have. That is incremental, and differential is like changes since last full backup. For suppose if anything changed from last backup, like anything modified, from that modification only, they are going to take the backup. That is called differential backup.
Yeah, boss,
Okay.
sorry to interrupt. So,
Yeah.
but here, if the application or service or any system is getting hacked or in
Uh-huh.
down, so by the time
Okay.
also the whole entire team of that application should
Mhm.
all the services are up and running or get notified by the all users or how it will be?
Oh, sorry, you're saying so if anything happened to the application or the server, so you are asking, is there any still continuity happening, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So
There
that
are
is
two
what
kind of
this main
things.
aim of this availability, right? So
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
yeah.
yes. Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, by that time also they should make sure that every service is available to authenticated users or how. So they will intimate
Yeah,
to users so the service is down for some time or
exactly. So we
something
are,
like that.
yes, yes, yes. We are going to the next topic, that only.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So, and the monitoring. So monitoring continuously observe systems to detect. That means you have to observe the applications while running the databases. That means how many connections are happening, like how the CPU percentage of the actual application server. If the server having like a high CPU usage, what will happen if your computer having high CPU usage? It is going to hung. That means it is going to stuck for some time, right? If it is happening in the specific servers used by any kind of application or any kind of organization, the users may will get a glitch, or maybe they'll face some lagging or something. So to eliminate that, the companies should do continuous monitoring is over there. They are going to monitor RAM, storage, CPU, like metrics, how it is happening. Like if the RAM is completely using, or like how much percent, 70%, 80%, CPU percentage also, storage percentage also, like database connectivity. Everything is going to create monitoring dashboards and taken care by the DevOps team or site reliability teams over there. How they are going to do with the help of some tools over there, like monitoring tools or APM application metric tools over there, they are going to they are going to monitoring those things. Okay, the monitoring is continuously happening. So let's assume the servers RAM is fine, storage is fine, CPU is spiking. Once it is crossed, maybe they are going to create alerts. Let's assume if the CPU percentage is touch 80, immediately they'll send a notification. Are they for those notifications also they use some kind of tools like pager duty, some kind of thing. Those pager duty kind of tools will immediately give you a call, or else they'll send you a notification, or at a time they'll send you notification, call and messages also. So you'll get to know, because most of the companies are working global wide. That means in India we are working, the USA is sleeping. So if they want to know if what is happening in emergency cases or sensitive things also, they want to get to know at that point. Even we also get to know, and those people also get to know once they get the call. Okay, there are 10 people working in a specific team who are taking about the infrastructure and all, they are going to get the alert. Okay, that is monitoring. And also you can see attacks. Dos means denial of service. That means a server have a specific capacity. That means then can able to accommodate 1 million people only, or 1 million customers. That means a 10 lakh customers only. What if a hacker with the high end system or with the team's effort, like maybe there are hacker teams outside there. If 10 or 20 people are trying to work on a specific application, instead of sending 1 million, they are going to send 2 million, 3 million or 10 million hits. That means they are manipulating the server. The server is going down because the server have a limited capacity to accommodate. What if the server is going to get too much hits? The server go down. That is called DOS attacks. Most of the times we are not seeing these DOS attacks, because we have a enhanced level of security and reliability things over there. Okay, so yeah, there are some factors over there like a faster response and the prevention of prolonged something over there. You can able to see all those things also. Yeah. So let's go to the redundant systems. Okay, redundancy means having multiple components performing the same function, so failure of one does not cause downtime. This means instead of depending on a single server, I told you one server have a 1 million capacity. For an example only I'm telling, I'm not saying exactly one server can able to accommodate 1 million people only. Maybe they have the capacity of 10 million or 20 million based on their configuration level, based on the RAM, processor and storage kind of things. Let's assume if the company is going to store their data in 3 servers. Those 3 servers are attached by wire or through internally configured. Those 3 servers, like a physical servers, act like a single application server. Okay, the thing is, if 1 million will come, those 3 servers is going to take a 3.5 lakh, 3.5 lakh, or 3 lakh, like that. So the server won't get much impact. Even 10 million will come also, they are going to take it accordingly. Even though if anything happened to a single server, the 2 other servers can able to accommodate the all the traffic. Okay, that is called a redundant, the redundant systems. Okay, and also there are some load balancers or something like auto scaling or something there. The load balancers is nothing but just balancing the load and transmitting the load or distributing the load to equally to the existing servers. Okay, auto scaling is nothing but, suppose you are going to use some you are going to use the AWS services in your organization. They are giving you auto scaling. That auto scaling is nothing but if the application going to hit by 10 million users, if the application capacity is only accommodate 5 million only, we can able to, the application server is able to increase their capacity automatically. Okay, it is taken care by AWS, but we have to configure it based on our requirements. We have to give that much like how much level it should be scaled, like a 10 million or 20 million, how much, still how much we have to configure, it should be scaled up, we have to set a meter, then it is going to taken care about. Okay, if only 1 lakh people only come, it is going to decrease the size, or at a time only it won't take much impact on those, because it is going to cost optimization. Okay, if the traffic is continuously hitting only 1 lakh, but you have a you are created the server for exact 1 million, like 10 lakh, you don't need that much. If you opt the auto scaling, it is going to optimize based on the requests and responses only. It looks like a rubber while you are um, doing elasticity kind of thing. It is going to elasticate itself based on the request and responses. Okay, and this is the disaster recovery. What he is asking previously, what if something happened to the servers? Okay, is the application is still running fine because of the failures, or something happened to those application servers or something? I told you there is an availability, sorry, um I told you this already, like this auto scaling and this redundant thing is already implemented over there. That means it is not going to happen, it is not going to take only single server. There are multiple servers behind there, but still, even though if you are hosted those servers in a specific place, if it is impacted all the servers, then again it should be an issue. For that, usually companies do DR region or DR activities. That means they have a specific backup, the same level of server at some point. Let's assume if you are going to use any cloud service, they are going to give you region and zone based. That means you can, I'm giving an example. Asia is a region, USA is a region, Australia is a region, and under the regions also there are zones. Okay, like South Asia, North Asia, East Asia, there are zones out there. Inside the zones there are data centers, like Hyderabad is having a data center, Mumbai is having a data center, kind of that. Okay, if you want to set it in a like if you want to host your entire application in Hyderabad, that is in a East Asia zone. But if you want to make it like if anything happened, any incident happened, I don't want to lose anything, you want to host the DR region. Okay, the same application also running inside that, it won't be started until unless anything is happened, or until unless you are going to start that specific servers which are hosted in another region. You are going to host it in Australia region also. Okay, if anything happens, simply the data, like the traffic is simply shifted to that area. Maybe the hacker can able to log this Hyderabad's or East Asia zones application level only, or the infrastructure only. They don't know there is a DR region, because they don't know the data. It is a very crucial and security thing. It won't be disclosed to anyone. So automatically we shift the data to there. Maybe there are some point of time, like 1 hour, half an hour, sometimes in few minutes also, maybe it should be transferred the traffic to there. At that point the customers or users may face some kind of glitch or unavailability, maybe like 404 found or 504 found kind of issues, maybe they will get, sorry, not 404, 504 or some kind of 500, some kind of issues will they'll get. That means the application is down, but in the meantime the company employees are trying to transfer that traffic to one zone to another zone, or one region to another region. That is called a DR, or disaster recovery strategy. I think you got my point, sir.
Ah, yes, yes. But
Yeah.
my question is here.
Mm-hmm.
So the main motive is if something happens, like it can be disaster recovery, or it can be hacked, or sensitive information can be exposed. The main motive is that we should make all the services are available, or it should maintain integrity or confidential, right? So
There
all
are,
these things has to be up and running always.
yes, yes, exactly. There are bunch of
Okay.
things over there while
Yeah,
we are
but it
going.
seems everything has to be aligned with the same criteria. So it should not be exposed. If something happens, they should monitor, or they should see what kind of encrypted mechanisms has been used internally. So all these things is comes under the CIA triad, right? That is what. it
Yes,
is
yes.
aiming to.
CIA triad, exactly.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I've told you this one, like there are few servers. Let me. Okay.
But in disaster recovery, so in each and every region, server should be in sync, right? So
Sorry, each and every region.
region server, it should be in sync, right? Whatever the activities which has done by server one, the same thing has been.
No, 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 no. See that. Yeah, I'll tell you. This is
Okay.
a active region. Okay,
Yeah.
you can say it is in a India. I mean, let's consider India is a region. Okay,
Okay.
this is a DR region. Okay, this
Okay.
is in a
Some other region. Okay.
USA at least. Okay,
Okay.
maybe. So this is active region because the customers, because it is a Flipkart. Flipkart is a major service used by the Indians. Okay, the major traffic like 80 to 90% came from India only. That's why they hosted it here because of the latency. Let's assume the servers are directly the active region is in USA. Maybe you will face a latency issue. That means maybe it is loading slowly. I like at the time of purchasing, maybe it should take more time, like a 1 second or a few milliseconds. Maybe it should take to eliminate that. We are hosting it here because the servers are near. The internet traffic should be even high. Also, the latency should be not that much. Okay, for that, based on the organization's expectations, they are going to create that. Okay, so if these three are act like a single application server, the first thing, every any kind of traffic comes to the application, it is going to taken equally to all these servers. Okay, even though if you want to update your servers, I am going to shut down this first server. At that point, second and third servers are going to taken care about the all traffic. At that time, I'm going to patch this server or update this server. Okay, once it is completed, I've switched on this server, it came up live again, act like same, all the three are acting like normally. After that, everything looks fine, then I'm going to shut down the second server. At that time, first and third servers are taking the load. So I do the same, like update and patch and everything, restart or reboot. Once it came alive, all three are looking fine. Again, I'm going to shut down the third server. Okay, okay, it is kind of a rolling restart. Okay, kind of thing. So one after one we are going to do. I'm giving it three only. Maybe they are going to have 5 10, how many, based on their requirement the companies are going to maintain. But mostly companies will have at least three servers. Okay, like a big companies, to eliminate the connectivity issues and all. So if anything happened to the first server, okay, if they are intruder, a hacker got the details of the server, they are going to attack it. If it is happening, if the hacker can able to access these two other servers details also, if the entire network is compromised, the application go down immediately. We have some DR statistics or strategies over there. It is completely in USA region. Maybe it looks like a same application, same kind of configuration, but it is in some other region. Some other domain names are rerouting to here. The domain names are here and here, maybe bit different because it need to be routed to some other continent. Okay, and also there is a barrier security things also there. No one can able to get into the DR region. There are, it is completely taken care by manually. It is not automatically route, because if it is automatically route, the hacker can able to go here also, because they can get to know the traffic is turning into somewhere. Maybe after doing manual things, if the hacker have exponential skills to get to know, okay, some traffic, the application is still fine even after 1 hour, like the application came live and looks fine, the hacker get busted and trying to access this also. It's not a simple thing, because there is a thing, reconnaissance. That means, actually I am going to tell this after the session or tomorrow session. Reconnaissance is nothing but gathering the information about the company, organization, or an individual. Let's assume if I'd like to hack a specific organization, I'm going to gather each and every required details of that application, like what kind of application it is. It is a financial application or a e-commerce application. What kind of technology stack they are using, what kind of cloud services they are using, what kind of servers and operating systems they are using. There are bunch of things I'm going to gather before I'm going to do the attack. Because if I have enough details about that, I'm going to try my best to attack that application. So the this should take days to weeks, sometimes hours to days also. Okay, so in companies usually we do black box testing, and there is a white box testing also there. Okay, white box testing is you are an employee or you are bounded to a specific company to do a security audit. They'll give you specific details. Okay, we have this active region details, we have this DR region details, we have this application, we are having some servers which is having specific operating systems, specific like versions of operating systems we are using, like that. So at least the VAPT engineer have some data, so that from there he is going to try to attack those applications to find out the vulnerabilities. But when it comes to the black box, they won't give you anything. They just give you the DNS, the domain name of that application. You have to do the reconnaissance and find out the majority of the details to attack. I'm not saying even white box also you have to do some reconnaissance, but at the beginning they'll give you some major crucial data, so you don't need to put much efforts to gather the info. But if you don't have anything, you have to gather the info from the beginning, from the 0 to 100. You have to gather much info and you have to do. But at that point, maybe he's going to find out the data and the details throughout the internet with the help of browser, like browsers, or with the help of social media accounts, or whatever it is they have in the open world. They are going to try to get it. But when it comes to the companies, the DR region details is having by a few people in the company, or a specific team only having these details. They don't know, while you're doing reconnaissance also, you don't know there is a DR region, and the DR region also hosted it somewhere, and they are having some kind of stuff or something. So if you want to do this, if you want to attack on this also, maybe you have to do the reconnaissance. Once the attack happened, this active region down, after that they manually route the traffic to DR region, the DR region came up live and working, then you have to work on this thing. Okay, in the meantime, they are simply going to find you. That is the one thing. Or else they are simply going to create a specific from scratch application or infrastructure within an hours or within a days, 2 to 3 days also. They are going to simply route everything to there, and the data is not known by anyone until unless the inside teams are people only, or the employees only. So this is not that easy. Even though if you want to attack in a specific application also, you can't find major vulnerabilities, because every time they are going to do the security audits by the VAPT engineers. Okay, my point is 100% security is a lie. That's why we have to find out every time, at least we can find any kind of vulnerability which will penetrate the application. I'm not saying if you want to, if you are a hacker, you can able to attack or steal any kind of data, because there are also hackers can able to protect that application. While you're trying to attack, they are going to defend you. Where they are, you're trying to attack, there are first level EDRs there, and like firewalls over there. After that, there are the actual hackers over there. They're trying to defend you. They won't let you in. Okay, after firewall there is a SOC team will defend you. Even SOC can't defend you, the actual hackers will come, the red teaming expert will come and stop you. Even if you cross them also, they are going, the application may down, they are going to send it to the DR region. Okay, there are bunch of things will happen, but it is not a simple thing like you expect. Okay, there are uh, tens of layers of security over there. You can't cross all those at a time. Okay, if
Yeah,
you have
yes, yes.
any other doubts.
Yeah, yeah, I'm good now. Sai.
Yeah, please ask me anything if you related having any doubts related to the subject or while I'm
Maybe
explaining.
if the sessions are keep on going, so maybe the bunch of doubts will come. But
No problem. If you have a doubt, that means you are understanding. Right. No, don't worry. Any kind of doubt, don't think it is a silly or something. I'm open to answer because I'm here to teach you. Okay. There is nothing if you want to become an expert or a professional, you have to cross all the things. Then only you can get that level. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to get to know about the IP addresses and the binary system. Sorry. Okay.
this is already covered, or this black box testing or white box testing.
This is
Uh,
called, we call like these are traditional things. White box testing is just like usually like having some amount of details given by the companies or authorities. Let's assume there is a SOC team over there. So the SOC team are the first defenders to defend the anything happening. So we have to connect with the SOC team. They'll give you some amount of data and they'll give you show you some guidelines also.
no, no, oh, no. In interviews, they may ask. So if
Ah,
you
yeah,
give
maybe
any
they'll
kind
ask
of,
you also, do you have experience in white box testing or black box testing? Yes, I have. I'll give
yeah,
you, but don't
oh,
worry.
okay,
I'm
okay,
going to take the mock interviews. You don't need to worry.
okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
You don't need to worry. The different professionals are going to take your mock interviews who are already working with the tech companies, top financial sectors. Okay, in their
Okay.
perspective they'll ask you like a real time based. If you have, if you are not up to the mark also, they'll give you the suggestions. Hey buddy, you have to answer at this point, like you have to say this and you have to go to those journals or something. They'll help you. If they couldn't have that much time to do all the interviews, I'll take care. You don't need to worry because I'm also a professional working in a company. I'll give you the data. That's not a big deal. Okay,
Okay, okay.
don't
Thank
think
you.
it's like a coaching or a training. It's like a friendly conversation. You are gaining a knowledge from me and I'm going to gain a knowledge from you also. If you have something, we are
Yeah,
act like a community because we have to create a mindset. If you want to become a vap engineer, that means you have to become a black hat hacker first. You have to see the negative phase of the applications and network. Then only you can able to stop a black hat hacker or any
yeah.
intruder.
Because if you are cross skilling, so the technically, if they're asking some question, at least we can try to manage by giving some technical answers. But if it hands on, if they're asking, right, we cannot able to scratch it.
Maybe they'll ask you to, they'll give you
Yeah.
a test application and try to find out how
Yes.
many vulnerabilities are there. I'll
Yes.
teach you,
Yes.
no problem. I will make you how much you can. I'll try to do that. I'll give you my 110%. Okay. The thing
Okay.
is, it is up to you how much you are interested to learn those things. This is not a simple thing. I'm not saying within a 2 months you are going to become a top hacker. But the thing is, how much you are putting the effort on that, maybe that will make you the actual hacker.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. So you guys understand this CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Or if you have any doubts on those,
Yeah,
anyone?
by that time, how we can communicate with you, Sai? So in middle, if you are preparing, right, in the class session only you are available, but in while preparing in a day, so if you are getting any doubts, like so there only we will stuck
I'll
it,
do
right?
one thing. By
Yeah,
Monday or Tuesday, I'm asked the Ashok IT to create a specific community. WhatsApp channel at least for us,
yeah,
for
yeah,
our
yeah.
people
Yes,
only.
yes. Correct,
Okay.
correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah.